Good evening, little dreamers. Tonight's story begins in a kitchen, a perfectly normal kitchen, in a perfectly normal house, with a perfectly normal pot of noodles boiling away perfectly normally. Nothing is wrong, yet in this house lived three best friends, each one absolutely 100% certain they knew exactly what they were doing. None of them did. First, Wobble the Rabbit. He is fluffy and wears a chef's hat flopped over one ear. Wobble had cooked noodles exactly once before. They had come out crunchy and tasted like chalk. Wobble had declared them an accident. Tonight, Wobble had a new theory, a new recipe, a recipe for success. Wobble was thinking, the secret to perfect noodles is heat. Lots and lots of heat. The hotter, the better, according to science. This was not science. This was a misconception from Wobble's part. Our second character is Pringle. He is a studious penguin with a pince-nez glasses and clipboard and pencil in hand. Pringle had never actually cooked noodles, but he had read about noodles. 14 books. He had made a chart and a checklist with lots of do's and don'ts. Pringle said, "The water level is a little concerning, Wobble." Wobble said, "The water level is fine, Pringle." Pringle said, "I'll be the judge of that. According to my calculation, these noodles are 73% submerged. They need to be 80% submerged. I'll add more water." And our third character is Captain Snoot-Snoot, a little mouse with captain's hat, cape, and thinks he is a superhero. Captain Snoot-Snoot had one theory about the pot, one very specific theory. Captain Snoot-Snoot said out loud, "It's haunted." Wobble asked, "The pot?" Captain Snoot replied solemnly, "Yes, the pot." Now, the pot of noodles was, at this point, doing exactly what noodles are supposed to do, boiling. Wobble is muttering, "More heat. More heat equals faster noodles. Faster noodles equals dinner. Dinner equals awesome." Pringle was not happy. He said, 73% submerged is simply not good enough. The noodles need to breathe. Wobble said, "You can't breathe underwater, Pringle." Pringle retorted, "Noodles are different from rabbits, Wobble. They are like amphibians." While this conversation was going on, Captain Snoot-Snoot was up to something. Wobble saw the mouse climbing on to the kitchen counter with a bell in hand and asked, "What are you doing, Snoot-Snoot?" Captain Snoot-Snoot replied, "De-haunting it." And he started ringing the bell from above the boiling pot. Back to the noodles. The water was now boiling considerably faster. 3 experts, 3 solutions. 1 pot that was absolutely 100% going to be affected by all this. Pringle said, The water level has gone up. But is it enough?" Wobble said, "There's too much water. Maybe more heat will help." Snot-Snoot saw the water boiling again and shouted, "The haunting is fighting back. More bell, and started clanging like a maniac. Wobble cried, "Now is the time to raise the heat. Let me push the knob to maximum heat." Pringle came running in with a jar. More water keeps the noodles submerged. And then all 3 did their fix at exactly the same moment. And then it happened. The explosion. The pot lid launches straight up and hits the ceiling, bonk, and sticks there. A column of noodles shoots upward like a geyser. Sploosh! Noodles hit the ceiling and hang there, swaying. The water, all that extra water Pringle added, sloshes over in a giant wave, whoomp, and soaks Pringle completely from beak to boots. Wobble gets hit by the steam blast, and his chef's hat launches off his head flies across the kitchen, and lands perfectly on the clock. Captain Snoot-Snoot, who was standing on the lid, is launched upward. Ah! Does a full somersault in midair and lands perfectly somehow on top of the fridge. He sits there, blinks, adjusts his captain's hat. Pringle and Wobble looked at each other with understanding. They both realized instantly that they had messed up the whole situation. But not Snoot-Snoot. Captain Snoot-Snoot said, in a wise tone, "I told you it was haunted." Pringle looked at Wobble and said, "Maybe I added too much water." Wobble nodded and said sadly, "Maybe I heated the pot too much." Once the mistake had been realized, they cleaned up and started cooking. Together. Not three separate experts doing three separate things. Just three friends doing one thing, the right way. Wobble didn't touch the dial. Pringle read the instructions. And Captain Snoot-Snoot, well, he silently watched the pot, thankfully. And the noodle cooked perfectly. And the three friends had a hearty meal. And so, little dreamer, here is what the noodles taught our three friends that glorious soggy evening. When everyone is absolutely certain they're right, and nobody is actually listening, that is usually when the pot lid hits the ceiling. The best teams aren't three experts shouting at once. They're three friends asking one simple question. What is the right thing to do now? And then, listening to the answer. Good night, little dreamer.